Hi, I'm Angel Akita Moore, and welcome to the first installment of Real Housewife Talk TV. And it's exactly what it says. It's a real housewife talking about TV. I decided to do this vlog because I realized I have an obsession with the Real Housewives series. Real Housewives of Atlanta, Real Housewives of New York, Real Housewives of New Jersey, Real Housewives of Orange County, Beverly Hills. I haven't gotten to Miami yet, but I will get into it. Not only that, I love basically any show that ends in wife. I love basketball wives. I love football wives that only lasted for half of a season. Desperate Housewives to Mob Wives as well as Hip Hop Wives. Why not turn my obsession into a blog? Because I feel like the host of a lot of these shows, especially Andy Cohen of the Real Housewives series, has to edit himself during the reunions and the things that he says because he's one of the producers and he has to kind of have an unbiased take on things. Well, none of the viewers are unbiased and we have all laid our opinions out there, at least in our head. Well, I decided, you know what? I'm going to create a blog, and that way I can see, hey, if there's other people who agree with me, or if Andy needs a co-host. Andy, if you need a co-host, you know where to find me. So basically my blog will be comprised of a summary of the show that just aired, because I'll always post these the same night as the show aired, plus my take on what happened. And also I'll probably talk about things that don't have anything to do with the show, but has to do with being a housewife. So anyways, the episode I watched tonight was Real Housewives of New York. The episode was entitled 16, but skip the sweet. Basically, in this episode, Ramona and Luann were both planning sweet 16s for their daughters, Avery and Victoria. Also, in this episode, we saw Luann throw Jill a surprise birthday party. Jill went and got a liquid facelift. It was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. We also talked a little bit, or they talked a little bit about Sonia filing for bankruptcy. We also saw Alex and Simon go to hypnotherapy to get Alex to quit smoking. And in the end, we saw both of the girls' birthday parties and how they turned out, as well as we got to see Bobby, Jill's husband, confront Simon about some things that had been said about him in some hateful comments that had been posted about Jill online. So that's the episode in a nutshell. So let's get to what I think about what happened. One, it's amazing to me how differently Luann and Ramona are as mothers. They definitely have two different approaches on who seems like they're the boss of their child and whose child seems the boss of their parent. I just realized that, you know, I feel like Victoria has a lot more humility about herself, and Avery, like her mother said, is a lot like Ramona. She's a little bit bossy, and I know if my mother were her mother, Avery would have probably got her lips smacked off her face a couple of times. She talks a little too sassy in some cases. The biggest thing I noticed about the two girls is that it don't look like they have any black friends. Yeah, I watched both of their birthday parties, and they could say it was editing. I don't know what they want to call it, but I didn't see not black person in them clips. I even looked to see if there was somebody black cleaning off the tables. Anything. Now, I've been to New York City several times. I have family in New York. I know there are several black people there. There are several Latino people there. There are several Asian people there, but I do not see any diversity in their friendship, which is just a shame because it shows you this stuff starts early. You know how many white friends I had growing up? A whole hell of a lot of them. They were everywhere. Everywhere. Jesus. My first Latina friend I know was very young. I know I wasn't 16. Had several Asian friends because I was in advanced classes and they were sitting up in there rocking class. So it seemed very strange to me in a city that's so diverse that these girls did not seem, I could be wrong, but did not seem to have any friends of color. At least what I also thought was interesting about this episode was Sonia in bankruptcy. You know what? It seems like every one of the Housewives series, somebody has to file for bankruptcy. Apparently, the rich are the ones that invented that, because I heard it's something that you do to protect, based off this episode, you do to protect yourself business-wise. I thought you did it because you were broke. But apparently not. When you got millions of dollars in the bank and you can file for bankruptcy, I thought that once you go bankrupt, you get food stamps, you go on government assistance, but apparently you can stay in your mansion, all that stuff. So what I'm trying to say is I need to know how I can file bankruptcy and make it big. And then the hypnotherapy. Really though? I think I'm in the wrong business, because if all I got to do is make someone close their eyes and repeat the same thing over and over again. Marcus, don't touch that. Don't touch that. Don't touch that. Don't touch that. I'm very good at it. I'm in the wrong business is what I'm trying to tell y'all. Now what I thought was going to happen in that session was that Simon was going to come out the closet. I don't care what nobody say. That man is only going to be straight for a period of time. Or maybe because Alex kind of looks like a man that kind of works for him. Maybe he's just bisexual, but I do not believe that is a completely straight man. And did y'all see last week's episode where she was in that lingerie? I don't care. Just because you are thin or you weigh under a certain amount does not mean people need to be seeing you and your unmentionables. And then he was rubbing on her butt. Are you kidding me? I did not believe that. Boo to you. No, do not do that in front of the cameras. That is disgusting. Wait a minute. Rewind. Back to the hypnotherapist. Simon says, the hypnotherapist has about a 60% success rate. So I'm not sure if that's good or bad. What? If you got a 60 in school, that's called an F. That's failing. It's called failure. The last thing I want to mention about the episode that aired is Bobby, Jill Zarin's husband. That man is the only sane thing on that show. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Jill, but Bobby, I tell you what, he keeps it cool and calm, collected. He's always in a suit. His hair is always slicked back, which has brought me to this conclusion. Bobby is a killer. Bobby is the type of man that'll beat and murk you if you cross him the wrong way. So what I'm trying to say is, Simon, I'm trying to warn you. You need to quit crossing Jill wrong or you're going to come up missing. And all that's going to be left is one of your shiny jackets and your slippers. Because Bobby's not playing. He's a cold-blooded man. I tell you, he probably got razor blades underneath his tongue. Cut somebody real quick. But yeah, basically, that's really what it was in a nutshell and how I felt. Like, oh, one stupid phrase that both of Ramona and Luann kept saying that I remember my husband bringing up to me once before. They kept saying, you know, you only turn 16 once. My question is, what age do you turn more than once? You only turn 3 once. Does it happen again in life that I'm missing? Really? You know what I did when I was 16? I had a pool party at my house and had a, what was that thing? A cookie cake with a black ballerina and icing on it. And all my church friends came over and we had to swim in t-shirts because we couldn't show our bodies because our hormones were raging. That is how you turn 16 at a church function with a cookie cake. Anyway, I hope you all decide to subscribe to my page if you haven't already subscribed to The Pregnant Angel. Please look out for the Car Jackson episodes. We have another one coming up, as well as any other crazy spoof that I decide to do. If there's any show that you all want me to watch and give my take on, please let me know. And Andy Cohen, if you need a co-host, which you do, you know where to find me. I'm sitting up here in Los Angeles waiting for my next job and trying to create one. What are you doing? All right. God bless, and I will see you all soon. Real Housewife Talk TV. Click like it.